Buenas tardes, ladies and gentlemen. Happy, beautiful Monday. See, happy Veterans Day to all those people that are veterans in this great country of ours, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? See, soy yo, the conservative New Yorker, coming to you from a remote location. Nice 81 degrees. And hey, if you're on my Facebook, take a look. Take a look at what I got going on here behind me. And I'll tell you what, if you can tell me where I am with what you see behind me, there's a $5 Dunkin' Donuts gift card in there for you, ladies and gentlemen. See, pero mira, before we get too far into what we're talking today, let's talk about some things going on and observed in this country. See, outside of Veterans Day, and we're going to talk about that. Actually, we're going to spend some time. I'm going to tell you everything that I know about it and what it means to me. And maybe you guys will give us a call, 346-3000, and you can tell us. Yeah, you can be like, this is what I think. Give a shout out to a veteran today. But check it out today is also Movember Day. And why is it important to pause for a second, ladies and gentlemen, and just have this discussion on what it means? Well, let me tell you. See, Movember Day, it's a global movement, right? This takes place every November, and it's to raise awareness and funds for men's health issues. Yeah, ladies, I'm sorry. Today, this particular movement is for men, right? And the thing is this, I'm going to probably suggest that this is probably specific to, men that were born men. Just saying, right? Because this is one of these things where they look at and they ensure that there's money and resources and education on things like prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and mira, mental health. Right? This is an initiative that began in check out of all places, Australia in 2003, when a group of friends decided to grow mustaches, right? As a challenge, right? But over the years, this turned into a movement. The concept was simple, but it was impactful. And check it out, ladies and gentlemen, right? Men are encouraged to grow mustaches, or as they refer to as mo, while actively going out and fundraising. And I guess supporters of all genders, right? If you got a mustache, grow it out, right? And listen, I have to believe that if there are any ladies out there that grew a mustache, in order to raise money on these issues, you'll probably make some money. I think people would pay for that, right? So check it out, ladies, gentlemen, especially gentlemen. Let's take a look at coming up with our own great ideas if the Movember or the issue of growing a mustache to raise money doesn't sit well with you. But why is this important also? Well, let's look at the numbers, right? Did you know prostate cancer is the second most cancer amongst men worldwide, with an estimated 1.4 million cases diagnosed each year? I mean, pero mira, in the United States alone, there's about 288,300 new cases of prostate cancer expected almost regularly. The survival rate is high for prostate cancer if caught early, with nearly 98% of men surviving 5 years or more. My father-in-law died, I believe, of prostate cancer. Not I believe, I'm sure. Well, and the thing is, I remember back then he had what was he doing? Oh, he didn't have health insurance, and he was waiting to get the health insurance to kick in, but he had to wait a year before that happened, and in that year it had progressed, and well, he still lived 4 years after that. So, testicular cancer, right? That's the bolitas that men have. Testicular cancer, right? Affecting young men. About 50% of cases of testicular cancer occurring in men between the ages of 20 to 34. And what's kind of sad about that age group, and there's nothing sad about anybody, obviously, but that age group doesn't seem to vote. I'm just saying, I don't know if there's a tie to testicular cancer and not really voting, but if there is, you might want to vote. And the reason, I mean, I'm half kidding, but the reason why I say that is because we've got issues that we're going to talk about, that we always talk about, right? But healthcare is one of them. Anyways, right? Enough on Movember month, ladies and gentlemen. Grow a mustache, use it as an opportunity to be able to go out there and raise money for men's health, for awareness, for research, for all of it. And not just men's, women too. Listen, guys, we have got to make sure that we're taking care of our people at home. Because today, being Veterans Day, truly highlights, right, what it means to go out and fight, and the things that these people have done that are being impacted by many, and by many of these things that were these cancers that we're talking about. Right. But you see, Veterans Day, right, really acknowledges the fact that we had people that were out there willing to make this country the best country in the world and serve and protect our freedoms and our way of life. Right. Not so that us Americans can sit here and be overweight or have an extreme number of cancer, people dying earlier than they should. Right. See, Veterans Day to me is humongous, because it means that we're celebrating the people that allowed us to have the beautifulness that we have in this nation. Now, see, the crazy thing is, right now, like I said, I'm sitting in a very sunny area. I'm looking out the window and I see Maseratis and I see BMWs. I see people jogging, walking, high rises, $1 million lofts, and that's great. And that is great. But I mean, listen, as a veteran, that's what I fought for. So we all have that opportunity to be able to move and arm up, like the Jefferson said right on TV. That's why I joined or remained in the military. Anyways, Veterans Day, it's observed on November 11th. Today, it's a federal holiday in the United States, right? I hope all my staff is enjoying their day off. I hope you're enjoying your day off. Pero mira, right? This day is rooted in the commemoration of the armistice that ended World War I. It was signed on the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, which brought the former cessation of the hostilities between Allies and Germany, right? Known as Armistice Day. The original name that was later in 1954 changed to Veterans Day to honor all Americans, not just those of World War I. Now, this is what makes this day also so relevant, right? Did you know that approximately 16.5 million veterans are living in the United States? They represent 6.4% of the U.S. adult population. What does that tell you? They're predominantly male, with women making up approximately or roughly 10% of the veteran population. And even though it's noted that number of women making up roughly 10%, right? That number is on the rise as more women are absolutely joining the military. Now, 4.9 million, let me say that again, 4.9 million veterans have a service-connected disability rating. What does that mean? Well, it basically means that this individual that fought for freedoms, right, when they left the military with injuries that were connected to their service, to the work that they did, right? These things reflect everything from actual physical disabilities to the more evasive non-visual ones like PTSD or mental health challenges, right? Homelessness which is kind of a result of some of these service connected disabilities. Excuse me. And I say result, oh my Lord. I say result as in, they're here, they're disabled, they're service connected. Well, they got hurt, right? Or they saw things that was well beyond the things that any of us to do should ever see. But when you're looking at our veterans, with 4.9 million veterans having a service connected disability, with 6.4% of the US adult population being veterans. But, ladies and gentlemen, 11% of the homeless adult population in the United States are veterans. How? How did that happen? Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Today's Veterans Day. Enjoy your day off. Just do me one favor though, right? As a veteran to you guys, to fellow veterans. When you go out this afternoon and you buy that 24 pack of brew, or you get your scotch, or you get your bourbon, and you get your steaks and your hot dogs and your chickens and all these things that you're going to be throwing in the grill and enjoying on what is a beautiful day today, then I got to ask, please take a few minutes, right? And just say thank you to all the veterans. Say a little prayer for their families. Why? Because it just matters. Mira, soy yo, tu conservative New Rican. See, we'll be right back right here in WYSL 346-3000, or leave us a message on social media. I'll be right back. Mira, no te vayas y no cambie ese dial. Sounds like a plan to me. Hey, did you say Hornell's online now? Welcome back to the Next Step Show, ladies and gentlemen. See, hey, listen, you know what? That music again, it is for you. And hey, let me not go another second without saying welcome her now to the WYSL Familia. See, hey, listen, 346-3000, area code 585. I'd love to hear from you guys. And listen, everybody that's listening to this show, do me a solid, yeah? Give a call to this show, 346-3000, area code 585, and just say, hey, I want to be able to, or I want to take a second and thank the veterans. Or check it out. If you have, right, a name or someone specifically that you want to thank as a veteran, listen, millions of people are listening. I also want to give a brief shout out. We're going to hear him on Wednesday to Dave DeFranco. Yeah, for the work that he does, to the Veterans Outreach Center on South Avenue for the work that you do. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a few minutes here and talk about me. Ah, look at that. See, I'm sure some people are like, oh my God. Here we go. Senor Vasquez talking about himself. But you see, though, this is what gets me. I am a disabled veteran here in America, right? And for the longest time, when I got out of the military, I was like, hi, I had too many friends that were far more issues than I have, and I would do things like not go to the Veterans Center or not go to the Veterans Hospital and stuff like that. But then I realized one day that, wait a minute, I'm doing them a disservice because many of these places get paid by their participants that they have, the people that they're helping, right? Because remember, if you're a veteran and you don't have health insurance and you go over to, especially if you're a disabled veteran, there's some help there for you. Yep, there's absolutely some help there for you. Hey, Fred, thanks for joining us on Facebook. And hey, I'll make sure that Dr. Bob knows that you thank them absolutely. Adding Hornell to our family is definitely a good thing. What else do we got here? Deb, thank you for your post. What do we got? Including day off. We need to support vets and have, yeah, absolutely. She says, I listen to the show every day. Thank you very much, Deb. I just wanted to let us know that most friends, including herself, don't get Veterans Day off. Wow, I did not realize that. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, this is a day that I truly believe without a doubt that we should have the days off, that we should have the ability to be able to go and share our time with our friends and family that are veterans. Come on, GOV. Come on, employers. I mean, we're all on this stuff about feel good, blah, 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 whatever, man. Listen, give your employees the day off. If you're an employer listening to me today, you know what? Send all your employees, especially what you consider non-essential, home today at 2:00, because everybody should be able to go out there and enjoy their veterans. Veterans shouldn't be at work today, right? I mean, I don't think so. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, 866-552-1009. If you're calling out of the 585 area code, our friends in her now, give us a call. Would love to get to know you. Want you to get to know me, right? Because we have a lot to talk about. 346-3000, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a call. Let's talk. Tell me what you think. Again, share the names of those people that you know that are veterans. I'm going to keep pounding on that. So let me tell you my military story, right? One day, many years ago, this little New Yorican was hanging out in the streets. I was doing everything that was expected of me. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, look at my background on social media. See, if you can tell me where I am at, I can tell you it's sunny. It's about 83 degrees outside. That is a $5 coffee card. Well, it's a cup of coffee, basically, at Dunkin' Donuts, or a coffee and a half. See, 346-3000. But one day, I mean, I've said this on this show before, I truly used to enjoy watching things like C-SPAN. Yeah, little old Puerto Rican kid growing up in the ghetto. I'd look at those people because, again, it was intriguing. Why is it that they're telling me, they, as in the narrative in the community, are telling me that what I see in front of me is all I have? And I'm like, man, it's not really what my father's telling me. A guy who grew up in the mountains of Puerto Rico. Right? So again, I'm looking, and I started watching C-SPAN, and I'm like, oh, those are the people that were created just to lead the rest of us. But see, this is why family is so important. Because my father didn't fight with me. He didn't argue with me. I mean, he held me accountable. But he just continued positively to tell me, listen, I'd get my butt whipped. I'd get a spanking, right? And I was grateful for it now that I got older. right? But he would leave me these little notes to stay in school, and I'm so happy that he did, because one day at the age of about 16 and three quarters, after I had already had a kid, after I had already run the streets, after I had already dropped out of high school, because I knew and I'm like, I'm going to join the military. Okay, I joined the military, 17th birthday, Sunday. At Monday morning, because it was a Sunday, the recruiters were closed on Sunday. I dragged my parents to the recruiter's office, and 1 week later, I had left for boot camp. And a day since has never, ever, ever been regretted. So listen, I didn't join the military, and I said this right. I didn't join the military because I had some oh my gosh, right, overly patriotic. No, I was trying to find a way out. But what I realized when I joined the military, when I got in there, when I was at boot camp, when I went to school, to the advanced individual training, or the AIT as we called it then, right? I started meeting people. I actually met a cowboy, right? I'm talking cowboy. Those sharp things at the back of the boots, the belt buckle that was bigger than his head. The guy had a lap. This is real true. But what he got me was, he looked at me and he said, "I've never seen somebody as dark as you." Now look at me on camera. I ain't that dark. Man has never seen a black man before, ever. Not because he didn't want to, right? It just wasn't where he lived. And then I started realizing, wow, we actually have a world. And in this world, we have people that live in it, and those people can reach the stars if we want to, individually. And then I started realizing, as time went on, and I visited and lived in 22 different countries, that the United States of America is truly the freest country in this globe. And that is where my patriotic duties became solidified. And I started realizing that, yes, I absolutely need to be involved. I absolutely need to acknowledge and encourage others to acknowledge the veterans that came before us, because it is those people that allows us to sit here today and have this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, 346-3000, 866-552-1009. Give us a call. I want to hear those names pouring in today, right? I want you to call. I could sit here and read the 13 names for Afghanistan, the ones that Hillary Clinton killed. Before that in Benghazi, Joe Biden killed more military than I could even think of. I could do that, but I'm just a talk show host, right? I'm sure you got a cousin or a brother or a sister, right? That has served this country, that you want to say, mira, hermanita, mira, hermano, mira, primo. I just want to say thank you. You know who should absolutely be on TV thanking every single veteran? Is this buffoon that we have in the White House. That guy should be on TV all day, 24-hour series, on his knees saying thank you, right? Because he was able to live, or what is that? He's like a leech on military, on veterans, right? Because for almost 50 years, the guy did absolutely nothing for this country, lives like a king, just like Hocus Pocus, just like the county clerk in Monroe County and the county executive. They live well. Well, the rest of us. And then they do crazy things like, oh, let's celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, which I was pretty happy for, right until I went to the event, because I was running for county clerk, and I'm looking around and I'm like, these people ain't celebrating nothing but themselves. Not a thing but themselves. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, right? Ladies and gentlemen that are veterans, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the leadership, and thank you for laying the path for the rest of us towards freedom. I stand with you. I'll be right back right here on the WYSL stations. Yes. Oh, those call letters aren't changing? Ah, okay. N Gotcha. Absolutely, nope. So, Voice of Liberty. Gotcha. Oh, absolutely. And I like to vary, so I'll grab those call signs, and in the future, I'll start adding them. Am I rambling? Is everything okay? Hey, Bob, how much time do I have left on break? Oh. Welcome back to the Next Step Show, ladies and gentlemen. See, hey, if you got a second, just stand up for 1 second from wherever you are. Listen to that music that I got in the background. Listen, that is the sound of freedom. See, welcome back. We are the Next Step Show on the Voice of Liberty, ladies and gentlemen. 346-3000 and toll free 866-552-1009. Right, Fred, thank you. I'm gonna share that here in a second. If you're on social media, once again, take a look at the background. I did move the camera a little so you could see more. $5 gift card if you can tell me where I am broadcasting from for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Clues are it is currently 84 degrees. It went up a temperature where I am at. Look at the background and check this out. I'm not on a cruise at the moment. Just know that. Hey, if you didn't know, right, that the sundaes, that ice cream with all those things on top of it, nuts and bananas, right? There's at least 3 cities in the United States that are kind of they all three kind of say that Sundays originated with them, right? That's Two Rivers, Wisconsin, Ithaca, New York, and Evanston, Illinois. Right? They all claim to the invent. They all claim, right, I guess, right, to inventing this back in the 19th century. But this is exactly what happened, whether it happened in one of these 3 cities or not. And this is the history, and I'll tell you why I'm even bringing this up in a second, right? Well, I can tell you now. Today is National Sunday Day. But in case you didn't know, right, that the story of Sundays traces back to here in the United States during the 1890s. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. When the blue laws restricted the sale of soda on Sundays. So to accommodate this, right, because hey, entrepreneur spirit, man, it sparks up, and this is customer service, by the way. It says they decided that on Sundays, since they couldn't sell sodas due to the blue laws, they replaced soda fountain drinks, with ice cream toppings, with syrup, right? Or like syrup, creating the Sunday special, which eventually morphed into the Sunday that we know today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is National Sunday Day. Head out to your most favorite ice cream parlor and support your local business and get a Sunday. And while you're doing it, check this out. Maybe you can take a second and buy a Sunday for that veteran that you love so much, and even the veteran that you've never met. So meet over here real quick. Fred Selbar also, thank you, Fred says. And if you notice on social media, I turned on the comments because there's quite a bit of them today. I want everybody to see them. Fred, thank you for the service of your dad, your uncles, your brother, your sister, and 2 nephews, including Fred Selbar. Thank you for your service. That surely is a family thing. Let's see. We got one more comment here. Sean McBott. I'm going to guess you are in Puerto Rico. Happy Veterans Day to my wife, Rhonda, and his father-in-law, Sean's father-in-law, Fenton McGowan. And thank you for their service. So Rhonda and Fenton, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for making America just that much of a better place, and for your sacrifices, ladies and gentlemen, because check it out, right? Being a military veteran, being law enforcement, you see my shirt, Home of the Brave. Listen, that comes at a cost. Law enforcement, which many are veterans, right? They come in when they leave in the morning and they kiss mom and dad, or excuse me, when they kiss their kids to go to bed, or even their mom and dads, they don't know if that's the last kiss or not. When we're sitting out in the battlefield, whether it be, or even in garrison, right? When we're sitting there, we just don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, understand that the United States would be another Mexico, would be another Canada, would be another UK, would be another Venezuela if it was not for the veterans that have honored this country with their services. Sean McBots, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, you know what? Again, 346-3000, area code 585, toll free 866-552-1009. Give us a call. Let us know who you're thinking. Say it loud, say it proud. And if you can't go up to the top of a building or a mountain and yell out thank you in their names, then call the show. Say their names. You know, talking about saying their names, there's governors. I think there's about 6 or 7 governors, right, from all the Democrat states that are like, no, Trump, you will stay. You will not in any way, shape, or form. And if you come after my people, then, you know, you're going to deal with me. But Bob, if we are able, can we play that clip? So we're gonna play a clip here in a minute. It's a short clip, like seconds, right? But this is the thing. Governor Newsom or Gruesome from California, Hocus Pocus from New York, right? Governor Murphy from the state of New Jersey, Pritzker from Illinois, Haley from Massachusetts, and the newly elected, I believe, Ferguson from the state from the state of Washington, are all basically telling Trump that he, right, that they're not gonna work with him. Come after my people, Bob. All right, little technical difficulty on that clip, but let's look at this for a second, right? Because I've played other ones here that kind of so New York State, Trump only lost by 11 points. Deep blue New York only lost by 11 points. In Illinois, deep blue Illinois, 9 points is all Trump lost by. Crazy, racist, all this other stuff that they're calling him. Deep blue states like New Jersey, he only lost by 5 points. Democrat mayors are losing their jobs. AGs are losing their jobs nationwide because people are tired of it. People are sick and tired of these politicians squandering the hard work that you and I worked hard to build. People are sick and tired, right, of watching freedoms that all our veterans, right, that people like Fred, that people like Rhonda and Fenton, and your conservative Nuyorican like Fred and his family, right, and many others that we know have worked so hard, and they want to come in talking about, well, listen, it's not fair, it's not equitable, blah 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 blah. Because that's really all that it sounds like to me. Blah 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 blah. Ladies and gentlemen, 346-3000. See, call us here on the Voice of Liberty, the Next Step Show. Why? Because we want to hear you say the names of people that are your own story. But let me tell you real quick before I switch to the topic we're going to end the show with today. And let me just tell you what a veteran means to me. Peter Vasquez, your conservative Nuyorican. Well, let me tell you, it means, right, that the individual that donned that uniform, right, has character. That individual, even if not initially, has developed and created a love for this nation, a love for ensuring that we have freedoms for our children and our grandchildren and future many generations to come, to ensure, right, that the people can sleep at night. That is what veterans means to me. God, country, family, American values. That isn't a political statement, for crying out loud. I'll tell you this too, what it doesn't mean to me. It doesn't mean big galas that we got to pay three, four, 5,000 or $100 to go. I mean, they're great and they raise money, right? Those things are phenomenal. But I'll tell you, people, oh, we got Leticia on the line. Woohoo! Hi, Leticia. ¿Qué tal, hermana? Mhm. They, they, they absolutely are, Letitia. I mean, these politicians, even the local ones, are literally spitting in our faces. I mean, when you look at, I mean, because, oh man, Letitia, can you hang on for about a minute or two? All right, I'll be right back. See, ladies and gentlemen, mira, no te vayas, don't go nowhere. Why? Because the next step show will be right back, right here on La Voz de Libertad, the voice of liberty. Yes, yes, really. What was his name again? No, I'm going to share that if you don't mind. WLEA. All right. Hey, when you say Bob Crane hosted it, was he a character or he just put it together? Hogan, the nice. Yep, that was one of my favorite shows. Ladies and gentlemen, see, welcome back to the Next Step Show on La Voz de Libertad. See, Leticia, thank you for hanging out there for a second. Oh, do we still have Leticia on? Oh, there you go. Hey, quick question for you. What do you think about the Department of Education? Absolutely, it is. Mhm. Absolutely. So, on that teacher in Penfield, and we know we're working behind the scenes on that with parents and Luis Martinez. I had that parent on. I mean, the school pretty much lied on there. That issue with that teacher has been going on for a while, and the thing is, even though that's Penfield, but when we look at something like like the Rochester City School District that claims to have a 67% graduation rate, but also only about 13% of the students are achieving proficiency in math and 16% in reading. But they were taught that Republicans, what was the words? Do you remember, Letitia? Man, I'll tell you that. the- yeah, absolutely. Letitia, I appreciate the call. And the thing is, she hit it on the nail, ladies and gentlemen. It is all about the money. Hey, listen, coming back from break, I hope you guys heard the Hogan's Hero theme song there. And I want you to understand that there is a connection now. Why? Because Colonel Hogan of Hogan's Hero, if you remember that show back from the 50s, I loved the reruns growing up. I watched that show. I think I watched every single one of them. But Colonel Hogan, right, started off his career at WLEA in Hornell, right? And his name is Bob Crane, right? Colonel Hogan, TV, the best ever. He started off at WLEA in Hornell. Oh my gosh, he's so happy to bring you guys into the family. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, education is a significant problem in this state as well, and really throughout the country, but in this state as well. New York State says that there's a 67% graduation rate. New York State says it has an average of 87%. However, right, when we're looking at test rates, like I said, 13% of students are achieving proficiency in math and only 16% in reading. Um, School safety is it an I mean, come on. We've had others who work at some of the districts here, and they're like, it's crazy. I don't know what other word to use, right? But what gets me is that, and the reason why we bring this up, ladies and gentlemen, is that Adam Urbanski, the president of the Rochester Teachers Association, who's been representing as president in that role for a long time, right? Who gets paid by the union that teachers have to pay, is saying, "Oh, we cannot eliminate the Department of Education at the federal level." But you see, this is the thing. Why can't education, or shouldn't education be local? Well, I mean, tell me, why shouldn't it be? I mean, when we're looking at it outside of the money, right? Because the feds do provide several $billion to some of these school districts, right? The thing is this. We have a failing educational system. The feds are so far removed from you, from me, and from our kids. And the thing is, the New York State Department of Education is so far removed, right? Again, from you and from me. Do you know that we've got people on the regents, right? We've got people on the regents that are not educators at all. None. So, how does that represent mom and dad who's trying to get their children educated for the system that they're paying for? I'm sorry. I just think it's so cool that Bob Crane, right? Colonel Hogan and Hogan's Hero started off at WLEA, that is now part of the Voice of Liberty family. You know what? I'm going to think about that the rest of the day. Senor Bob D'Angelo, thank you for sharing that fact with me, sir, right? The guy behind the scenes that always makes things happen. Always does. But you see, sitting the issue with this whole Department of Education and Urbanski standing against it, it is all money. Because when we bring things to local control, we can do things like this, right? Check this out, right? Hang on, because this is like like a brand new concept. This is something that we haven't heard before, right? We could have school choice. Hmm. How about state competitions as far as education goes? Who's doing better? Forcing schools to do better instead of the bureaucracy we have now. Do you know that? And this was some time ago, and I know it hasn't changed, right? There was a school superintendent, Brizard or something like that, and the guy was actually had legal sorts of issues. I don't even understand how he got hired here, right? But the reason why I bring that up is because I had started doing, looking into him, and realized that I realized that, man, time flies when you're having fun. Listen, I'm going to continue this conversation tomorrow. So, mira, welcome to the Next Step Show tomorrow at noon. Y no te olvide, be a leader, be a leader, be a leader. And let me know where I'm broadcasting from, and that will be a $5 coffee gift card. No te vayas. I'll see you soon. Oh, no worries, my friend. I,